not because you are paid for it, but just to give out knowledge. It's gratifying, very satisfying. So it does it. It does it. It does it. Right. Just two or three minor updates. One, cancellations of visas are also the same. Yanga yawo health and care visa so. Ebia woni wukuno ana woyiri na ewo ha. Na mo de abofra bi ebe ka ho application na mo abofra bi se mo de neighbor se omo ye abofra ne mo ba. Meanwhile, some more shall take them one. I will bring them over. Now, would the Ako Kang on the Moko yet DNA be and not yet DNA, Oko yet present birth certificate be a cancer application at home. Last the home office fight at Chinamko Shannon said David, birth certificate wasn't issued by the right authorities. I'm a refuse application, I will an application. Now, one way I will for now, Eddie Visa Namamun, so they travel some mudium. They chat a mudium or gun on Waka. Omo retire, Omo resign from their work, from nursing, from pharmaceuticals, from from lecturers. Say Omo baha. And agents now, Omo de ade ne kwashomus, and agent no so edi bibi to break of fry. Home office eko hu is say baby abofrey enya kodwo ya ani amaba. Nanso agents no de akoka hu say oyo mobanti. Home office F5 house because any mobile say what the false documents about on my chat, on my refusal for an applications, not once, not twice, not three times, but it's going on. Now, more I did this and I'm a they tramu waka Ghana and I say, oh, hampua, they cancel or they revoke was it not once. I have dealt with a few gentlemen who have gone through these problems. In the air can I say, so what do you my agent? Make sure said documents are with my agents no on final application on my own. Usually a man and I go through these problems. I don't see the women going through these problems because they say or anybody. They go through all these problems. And most of the ones I've dealt with a member now, only Abu Prebia come and a banner. Require any banana, any problems neighbor. You ever cancel visa no? The idea more ever cancel. Abu Prandians ever refuse, ever revoke, and ever cancel, ever refuse application. Yes, Remo. So, who also use the agent in poor. Please ensure set documents are with their agents and no, and or the application amount. Birth certificates, especially, upon no problems, no, if ever. Yes, Remo. Yes, Remo. Number 2, pictures. Pictures. My car went once some that. May sans studio. Set. Pictures, who the pictures be echo application. Use the right pictures. Don't go and merge any 2 pictures. Remember, pictures are 2 different people and not 2 different families. And I have been saying this for the past 10 years. It keeps going on. And it keeps going on. We keep saying this. Let's not do this. Don't do this. It's going to jeopardize your case. I bet so case no. You'll be banned for 10 years. Don't do it. Just don't do it. And I don't know why it keeps happening. And I just can't explain it, but it keeps happening. Yeah? For more than 10 years ago, we used to go to court to argue against this things. Be Eddie picture, be Eddie. Bakudia here, not Papa. I had to send to end so he's suspending in the air. Now, with the boom say, oh yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't help. You know, it's. As a lawyer, they say, bro, it's not about Sekano, it's about the reputation that we are building for the country. You know, it's becoming very disheartening. Ghana is becoming very notorious for using false and fake documents. It is not good. It's not good. It's not helping us. It's not creating a good impression about the country. It's damaging our image as a country that does the right thing. It's becoming serious. And yes, use only the pictures. Who need pictures? I need pictures. It's as simple as that. Who a picture use the 2. Who a use the 3. Who a bebrea use all. But so don't go and create. Please don't create pictures that are not genuine. They will find out, and it will affect your application. It's yes, please. Bibi so why your friend BDVR. document, the D stands for document, the V stands for verification, and the R stands for report. DVR, document verification report. So, what the documents be application Home Office, Beko, Akoshem say document now with the abano, a genuine document, and say, and yet genuine documents are. I'm prepare to be a DVR, document verification report. So DVR, which says the document is a fake or a false document, it will be used against you if you appeal against that decision. And now in future, so we have application here. The Home Office will use that against you, your family member, your child, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. They will use it against them that you have used a false document in an application for them. The DVR will be there. The document verification report will be used against you. I can't emphasize this enough. It is damaging our cases. It's damaging your credibility. It's damaging everything you submit. It's spoiling everything. One document is spoiling everything. And USHA paragraph 329.7.1 of the immigration rules, that is part 9, the general grounds or refusal, SC. If you use a false document, whether it is material to the application or not, and whether you know or not, whether it is to your knowledge or not, whether you know that that document has been used or not, they don't care. They will refuse you. So everybody can come and say, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. They don't care. Once you use the document that is false, they do not care. They will refuse you and they will ban you for 10 years. Please. They will use the document verification report against you if you have to go to court. I have had to deal with instances where I personally contacted the person who provided the verification, who provided the evidence from Accra, the birth registration department. I spoke with him personally. Or say, or check documents. He was very generous and came back to me and said, there is no trace of that document in their records. And Uncle can be beer ever say Nejuma. Nejuma no oye, edition in home, he any ma. Uncle Joby be because we were brutality, on the work to be saying part a war. Some question of question anywhere. Near in a dear. How is he going to survive? How is he going to look after his weapon? So he's not going to give any contrary report to what the Home Office have said. So please, nobody's going to put himself on the line for you because of £100 baby. Nobody's going to jeopardize their profession, their work, their life, their children's welfare for you. So please, I am begging us all. Let us use the correct documents for the application. If you use the correct document and it is refused, we understand. When we go to court, we can argue it. Or possibly another option may even happen in future. Now wait to me, but who uses false document that it jeopardizes everything. So please, let's use the right documents. E-visa. The e-visa, I think a week or a few weeks ago, said Ukra British passport, unye e-visa, Ukra right of abode, unye e-visa, we are an Irish national, unye e-visa, Ukra biometric residence permit, and a biometric residence card, ubeye e-visa. But the information I have got from the Home Office site and Gov site itself. So Ukra biometric residence card. We have a difference between the card and the permit. Ningna residence, but we residence card and about residence permit. The residence card holders set over under the EU settlement scheme and free settled status and now settled status. The Home Office is saying that you already have the e-visa. They upgrade you to the e-visa, so you don't have to do anything anymore. You don't have to do anything anymore. You already have the e-visa. In that case, you are good. Thank you. To go. You are good to go. But so the residence permit. Residence permit, not 1 minute. So, residence permit now, you have to do the e-visa. So take note. If you have the residence card, which is under the EU rules, and you have the pre-settled status, and under settled status, you don't have to do the e-visa because you already have the e-visa. It is all status that we are. And do state because you are using the wrong document. You are not scanning the right document, which means you already have the e-visa because you have the EU settlement scheme. But Ugra residence card, no one yet EU settlement scheme now. In that case, you still have to apply for the settlement scheme, and then you'll be put on the e-visa. So let me summarize it by saying, if you have the residence permit, you don't. If you have the residence permit, you don't have the e-visa, so you have to do the e-visa. If you have the residence card, you already have the e-visa. If you have the pre-settled status or the settled status issued under the EU settlement scheme, you already have the e-visa. So please check yours. If you have settled status under the EU settlement scheme, you have e-visa. If you have pre-settled status under the EU settlement scheme, you have e-visa. If you have residence permits, you don't have the e-visa, you have to do the e-visa, and then you can get your right to be in the UK. You can check it. Let me also look at this. From the 31st of December 2024, one card, one permit, but the application process will be the same. You still have to complete the application form, pay the IHS, pay the application fee, book your appointment, go and do your fingerprint, wait for a decision from the Home Office. The decision will be granted, or when it is granted, the visa you should be issued will not be given to you on card. It will be put on the electronic system. So what it means is you will still have to go through the same procedure to get your leave. It is only the card, the end document, which is the card that you will not get. The card will be put electronically on the system, but you still have to go through the process. Don't assume, sir, because it is e-visa, you will be granted automatically. You will not. Don't assume, don't assume for your leave to expire. Don't assume that you'll be given automatic extension and your leave will expire. You become an illegal immigrant in the UK. Please, you still have to go through the process. You still have to complete the form. You still have to pay the application fee. You still have to pay the IHS. You still have to book your appointments. Go for your biometrics at maybe Croydon, Liverpool, Birmingham, Stratford, Tottenham, or wherever it is. You have to go through the same process and wait for the decision. When a decision comes and you have been granted, then it is the card. And no, and I am from card now, as I said, the Mauno, and no, now I'm to e-visa. So, my Mrs. Subio, don't make the mistake of thinking, say, e-visa is going to be an automatic, free of charge updating of your system. Don't. Otherwise, you find yourself in a big, big trouble. The next one is Wonga Yamawo. 2.5 years, 2.5 years, 2.5 years, and 2.5 years on the 10-year route to the Sono. Set Yamawo. First 2.5 years in January 2012 and not January 2004. In this year, January 2024, no, let me put it this way. If you were given the first 2.5 years in January 2014, I'm sorry, January 2014 plus 10 years is January 2024. And this was sitting on Actually, say you still have up to December 2024. You don't have to wait until December 2024 because the first one was given to you in January 2014. So in January 2024, it's 10 years. Go for your indefinite leave to remain. Don't wait until December 2024 before you go for your indefinite leave to remain. You are calculating the 10 years from when you were given the first 2.5 years. So add 10 years to that, and you realize that you will get your 10 years, 2024, January or February or March or April or whatever month you were given. And then you can go for your indefinite leave to remain. So those are the things I want you to be aware of. But before you go for your indefinite leave to remain, you have to meet some requirements. Example, the English language requirement. Today, I want to look at that. English language requirement. Now, and especially they struggle sometimes with the English language test. No? Yes, Remo. Say, when them say English language, ever a problem, Mr. starting in term. Sure, exams need term started early. Men trying my 10 years and so ansana was started. Yes, sir, a bit into you go beyond the 10 years. So if you are under 18 years, you don't have to write the English language test. You don't have to do the Life in the UK test. You don't have to do the B1 for your indefinite leave to remain. If you are more than 65 years, you don't have to do the English language test, B1, and you don't have to do the Life in the UK test. You don't. If you are below 18 or above 65, no test, no Life in the UK, nothing. You don't have to do anything. Just go ahead with your application. But if you are between 18 and 65, you need to do the test unless some exemptions apply to you. Now, what exemptions are there? One, medical exemptions. If for any reason, because of your medical condition, your medical situation, you are not well in a certain type of area, and you cannot ultimately enter English language test no impasse here. Ultimately, apprentice form be a friend KOLL waiver. KOLL. KOLL. Go online, enter KOLL waiver, WAIVER form. Print that form, Pakoma with GP, and Pakoma with consultant, medical consultant. Obetro say, a serious medical condition. Because of your condition, you cannot learn. Pass the exams, the GP will write it there with the background application now with their call to the Home Office. You will be considered. It is not automatic, except with the choir. They will grant you the exemption automatically. They will assess it and see if you should be exempt from the English language test. And yes, and to want to mean test no David, and you could do some near. And yes, we'll see and our arthritis into intro, and yeah, no near that will not work. It will not work. But a serious medical condition, dear, you're deaf, dumb, visual impairment, you can't read, you can't see, you are seriously ill in a certain way, mental condition, and there is no way you can ever write that test and pass. Your GP will put it on the form, KOLL waiver form. Write it, sign it, stamp it, give it to you, you add it to your application, and then you sign it. They will look at it and consider whether you should be exempted from the English test. Messi Subium, and ya kutuje, and ya arthritis, and ya miti paime, and ya no any air, and yet I have hypertension, high blood pressure. That is not going to work. It is not, that will not prevent you from writing the test. So we are only talking about serious medical conditions. However, there are some groups of people who may not have medical condition, may not be below 18 years or above 65 years, but they are also exempt. I just want to take a quick look at those people. One, if you are in the UK as a victim of domestic abuse or victim of domestic violence, and the relationship breaks down, the relationship breaks down because you are a victim of domestic abuse. Maybe one party is assaulting the other and the marriage broke down because of the domestic abuse. You are able to go for your indefinite leave to remain without having to write the Life in the UK test and the B1 English language test. The English test is not written, it's only speaking and listening. Can you hear when they speak to you? Can you understand the English language? And are you also able to respond? And yet, essay being the say, can essay no natural your opinion about it? It is not. It is simple speaking and listening. It's not writing or reading. No, it's not writing. It's not reading and writing. It's only speaking and listening. So please, you can start early. Go to YouTube. Go on to YouTube. Please, go on to YouTube and enter English language test level A1 or English language test level A2 or English language test level B1. Go there. It is easy. It is there. Listen to it over and over and over and over again. You would know what they are talking about. You go there, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they will take you 150 pounds after you've booked everything. You go, you walk out, you apply for your life in your indefinite, you get your indefinite leave to remain. If you don't do it, and you are due for indefinite, indefinite, no. You're bound another 2.5 years. You keep extending 2.5 years, 2.5 years, 2.5 years. You'll be wasting money. Every 2.5 years, you have to go and pay £3,635 and 50p every 2.5 years. It is better to pay the £150 and pass than to be paying £3,635 every 2.5 years. I will make sure pass it rather than to be paying £3,635 every 2.5 years. Minimum beer or draw the Life in the UK Times. Now, you know how many times? 9 times. She wrote it 9 times. On Scooter, she has never stepped in a classroom, but she told herself, I will pass this test. She did the first one, she failed. Second one, she failed. Third one, she failed. Fourth one, she failed. She wanted to give up. I said, no, don't do. Go again. She did it, she failed. She did it, she failed. 9 times, and she passed. The 9th time, she passed. Now, we are going to go for her indefinite leave to remain for her. You haven't even tried it at all. And you say, to me, yeah, somebody has done it 9 times. On Scooter, she has never stepped in a classroom, but she's determined, she was determined to do it, to pass, and she passed. So let's get the determination up. If you have to do it to pass, please do it, rather than paying £3,635 every 2.5 years to the government for free of charge, for nothing, just another 2.5 years. Please do it. If you're a victim of domestic abuse, you don't have to write that test. But you need evidence from your hospital, from your GP, from the police, from the Black Sisters and other organizations to show, say, you've been a victim of domestic abuse. And no answer, you have a waiver of the Life in the UK test for you. Secondly, if you are a bereaved spouse, unfortunately, your partner is passed away, and now he has passed away. As long as you were here as a spouse, you are on a visa as a spouse, and the other party has passed away, you are able to apply for your indefinite leave to remain without writing the test. You won't try exam. If your partner passes away, you are able to apply for your indefinite leave to remain. So you only have to make sure you pass the test. Nobody should kill anybody. You go to prison for the rest of your life because you want to get your indefinite leave. That is just a joke on the side. But the law is, if you are a bereaved spouse, civil partner, unmarried partner, and your partner passes away, you are able to apply for the leave to be here indefinitely. But if you're going to go for your British citizenship, in some cases you'll be exempt. In other cases, you have to write. Even if you didn't write it for the life in the UK, you may have to write it for your British citizenship. Another category is parents, grandparents, and other dependent relatives of people who in the UK under program 317 of the immigration rules. If your father or your mother came to join you here and they have to go for their indefinite, they don't write the test. They don't write life in the UK. They don't write the English language test level B1. If it's your father, your mother, or a brother or a sister who is more than 18 years and they are here depending on you and they got their stay because of you, they don't write the life in the UK. They don't write the English language test level B1 to get their stay in the UK. Adult dependent relatives under Appendix FM, and then adult dependent relatives under paragraph 317 of the immigration rules. No tests, no exams, nothing. They just apply with all the necessary supporting documents, and you get your indefinite leave to remain. And also, if you're a person who is a retired person who is of independent means, they also don't have to write. Person applying as a refugee, if you're a refugee, you do not have to write a test. I think I need to clarify between the 5-year route and then the 10-year route. I'll clarify that. If you are here on discretionary leave to be in the UK, you have to write. You don't have to write. Let me put it that way. If you are on discretionary leave to be here under the immigration rules or discretionary rules, you don't write the test. Discretionary, you don't write the test. To say, Papa, na, Mr. Shade, I was not from her for 46 years, and son of the man indefinitely. One draw test, one draw straight away, they gave him the indefinitely because he was put under discretionary and his circumstance was compassionate. It was exceptional. The man without writing the test, no life in the UK, no test, and he got his life is indefinitely to be in the UK. If you are a person with humanitarian protection, asylum seeker, once you know you don't write the test to be in the UK, it is free of charge. You write if you're going for your British citizenship, but for your indefinite, you don't write it. For your British citizenship, you have to do that to get your citizenship to be in the UK. Now, if you're applying as a stateless person, you have no country. You've renounced Ghana as your country, and you are not a British citizen, and no other country can take you. You've renounced that country. You cannot be taken to that country because you've renounced it. You also don't have to write the citizenship, the life in the UK test, and the B1 to go for your indefinite leave to remain in the UK. So these are some categories of people who do not have to write the life in the UK test and the English language test. However, as a partner, if you're a spouse, who did 2.5 years by as a spouse, and you're on the 5-year route. 5-year route, so you have to write the English language test, level A1 outro and a level A2 to extend, level B1 for indefinite, and life in the UK for indefinite. A1 to come to the UK, A2 to extend, B1 for indefinite, life in the UK for indefinite, B1 and life in the UK for indefinite if you are on the 5-year route. So 10 years, no problem. You can do it up until you're going for your indefinite, no English, no nothing is required. But if you're on the 5-year route as a parent or as a spouse, you have to have the English language test level B1 and also English, the life in the UK, you have to pass before you can write, you can get your settlement, unless you have exemption, which I have listed out. Adult dependent relatives, applying for indefinite as a refugee, discretionary leave, humanitarian protection, victim of domestic abuse, a bereaved partner, bereaved unmarried partner, bereaved civil partner, all those people, you don't have to do the test to get your indefinite leave to be here in the UK. Nana, I think the time is quite spent, so I'll just leave it here and see if there are some questions. I will take it. If there are no questions, I will say thank you very much, and then I can go enjoy the rest of my weekend. Thank you very much, Nana.
Lawyer, yɛbɛda ase ɛnɛ anwummere yi ɛwɔ wo time a wasan ɛde ama yɛn no abɛma yɛn nkyɛkyerɛmu. Megye di sɛ dodoɔ na ɛbɛwɔ questions a ɔmo ɛpɛ sɛ ɔmo busa. Ɛno nti abusuafoɔ saa bere ɛyɛ wɔn nso wo brɛ sɛ wowɔ any question ɛde ɛma lawyer wobɛtumi ama wo nsa so ɛwɔ Zoom no so na matimi afa wo na ɔde wo question no ɛde aba. Lawyer, we say good evening, lawyer. If I just receive my residence permit for 2.5 years, can I write the two exams and automatically get my indefinite leave without the remaining years? Lawyer, we the owner betisa brofu yase, meme ntiase. Lawyer.
Okay, so I just say I'm only 2.5 years. So for sure, life in the UK, no any B1 now, or bet me application for indefinite and
I mean, inside idea so time bound being so that's why
exactly
yes by
yes, and yet time near one, and there are other requirements.
Okay.
Say if you do to 10-year route in the so you do to 10-year route in the so ultra exams that alone is not enough to take you from the route to put you straight on the indefinite. You still have to do your time. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 10 years. And now, 5-year route this one. Even if you write the English language test and the B1 and the life in the UK, it still doesn't take you away from doing the 5 years time. You still have to do the 5 years before you go to the indefinite leave to remain. I've had questions that we are 3 years for indefinite straight away, and I'll go for citizenship. The difference is this. Let me take a bit of time to explain. Sir, Abia upi Ghana nebaye, and our waru krum hampo. We really ekra indefinite leave to remain. Sir, who are sitting at the time now warrior, over 5 years. After 5 years, over here indefinite leave. When you're indefinite now. Over 1 year on top of the 5 years, now extra 6 years. So 5 years, indefinite, and 1 year on top of it, which is a total of 6 years, and sign for your citizenship. But so we now we're only a British citizen, and now we're only a British citizen. We need 3 years for you to be eligible for citizenship. But you need to do the 5 years to get your indefinite. So by the time I will try with indefinite, no one you just 3 years, no. Until when you indefinite, and now the next day, you bet me go for your British citizenship. That is why people are confusing that 3 years spouse of a British person with the 6 years of being here in the UK for citizenship. It's very confusing. So don't try it. Otherwise, you waste your money. They'll take your money and they'll refuse you. They'll tell you are not qualified. And they will not refund your money to you. Once the money goes to them, I can assure you, it will take some time. Even if they refund it, it will take some time before it comes back to you. So that is the difference. Please. Nana, thank you.
Yo, my name is Frederick. Yeah, if you are near Kotidora. Fred, but you'll meet yourself now for a question, no, Ebra.
Yo, Nana, me that's it. Lawyer, na me sure. My question near me, no, the dika ni say oba now 5 years route now. Exams English language no the other one no. Oba anytime be na obetumi atro na say bra obetumi atro sa exams no. And the tosu me no me o Ghana no na me adopted child be no me yet nyina me adopting legally. But ene na tia me buy ya me nkola na free ho aba but ono e beyond 18 years na me bisa say route be na metumi edino ono so be suitable for metumi ni na afa so edino aba that's it.
Yo papa, thank you papa Frederick. Now with English test no, the first one from Ghana over here A1 unless you have degree. Who a degree? Now, it is certified by ECTIS, ECCTIS. And so, somebody just got a question like that. If ECTIS, ECCTIS certified that the degree is equivalent to a degree in the UK, you do not have to write the English language test again. You will use that same certification throughout up onto your British citizenship. But you only have to write the life in the UK test. Okay? Yeah, I think she's put the link there, ECTIS.com qualifications. Yes. So if you go to ECTIS, they will be able to convert or to give you the attest or the confirmation that your degree is equivalent to a degree in the UK. So that is that. You can use that. But if you do not have a degree to convert, then English test, no, Ultra, it is valid for 2 years. And to Ultra, 2 earlier, by the time overdue for your indefinite, not 2 years later, let's say, and Tiana Mikase, train, say, and if you are within a year to the renewal before you write that English test. But the life in the UK test, you can write it anytime. And no, it does not expire. It is valid for life. The life in the UK test is valid for life, but the English test is for 2 years. But the ECTIS and the degree is also valid for life. It's forever. As you do the ECTIS, your verification of your degree certificate and everything, you can use that from the beginning to the end without having to do the English B1 or anything like that. The second question about adopted child, unfortunately, we're through 18 years. So we're through 18 years, it becomes very difficult or almost impossible to bring the child in. If you had adopted a child legally, and then it would have been okay to bring the child. If you had gone to the court procedure, I don't think you did. I was the only woman at night throughout the process. And that would help. And now, so we chat 18 years. And say, go school. Go school, we are not saying, admission be with school, be able from her. Go for a course that is not too expensive. That's a oba. Now, over remote, then options no ever be a man. Course be so expensive, that might be difficult to pay, but when your course be maybe around some 9,000, 10,000 there. It's a lot of money though, but at least every man back. Then from there, you can explore the other options of staying in the UK. Nana?
Yeah, in fact, Theodora. Theodora, I'll meet yourself now for a question, brother.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mami.
Mpachoboko. My question dear, far about migration. It's about Mekasemi for legal advice. So I'm not sure if lawyer bet to me about me any advice will help. So it goes like my credit score essay na my partner and the man say so marriage ni break it down. We came back again and now say you could have special needs children na me nkuta car no me hun to me inheritment no jine mu ye financed so for some reason I tried and the marriage couldn't stay or see car no any on to be and I'm so okay and any agreement I call ye because of say what say me credit score ne or say on to ya can to ya no on to be so the finance company called me and say Osi want to be na on paper no me na me guarantor and for that matter no they reach out to me say me to ya car na chese me keep na me say okay once me register keeper no ye owner no in fact on the finance when it comes to the financial agreement no na needing that so that means me to ya car no mpo wi ebeko akodi no ho asin ebeye ne dia na mfa so be ne beba so ama me so that's what I wanted to see say me tue wi a umbetumi de ka na ama me ana no see logbook no ya tro bibi also a proof of ownership no it doesn't belongs to me for that and no so be ma no so enye ne dia in just say yetua ka na wi na say yetua ka na wi na anase me tua ka na wi na say later oba say ni chefa wo mu a eno de dispute between me ni me. To make a say okay for me to go into an agreement no me per se mesiki legal advice ahwe say ya de bia metumi benefit or not. Intim patrona me question say lawyer betumi advice me bibi kakra o hono as to can I own the car after making payments?
Just gonna let me watch. Out.
Right. Sister, thank you. Thanks for the...
Wait there, sorry, me man distracted me. Me question, no, me that say.
It's quite an elaborate situation. I'll be frank with you. I am not very, very tutored into that section. What I can do is I can refer you to a colleague of mine who has probably dealt with situations like this. I don't want to mislead you, and I don't want to give you wrong information. And to let me give me number. What happened is after the program, possibly Monday, from the office line, they will pass it to me, and then I'll refer you to this person who can help. I'm not very well learned into that aspect, and I don't want to mislead you because this has lots of money and etc. etc. I hope that is.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And Theodora Bomodia, lawyer, Sabri, wait the contact number no to chat room or amae na obia ohian wetimi afa na wa contacted. Yemfa Olivia and Twaso metra and so na can some of the questions need be chat room or Mr. Moa chat room or the question to na wa mana very snappy amami said they meet me up picking it easily na lawyer so ya no amae. Yemfa Olivia and Twaso. Olivia you too.
I don't know how. Also, you will be away.
But maybe say Bema ewa hanumu na sure baby person in the Obanu or Ghana but onye ne ho ade na obetimi aye fiancé visa mana baha na obaha can they get married here be valid ana?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, we have that option. Set obey visa, set obanibaba for a fiancé visa, visit visa, and then we have marriage visitors visa. It is possible so bad. Or maybe then that you can even apply to remain in the UK. But evidence that all documents for the ceremony to take place. If the visa is for coming to get married, then as I said, all the necessary arrangements have been made, maybe the invites have been printed and everything, and no application for the visa to be granted. So yes, it is possible. It happens. Also, but it has to be done and done properly. Yes?
Okay. So arrangement in England. So yeah, before the application. Is that what they mean?
Yes, it has to show evidence. Before we were as a set, what do you call registry? And yeah, sorry, but and see, as a settlement registrar, notice that I want to get married. The registrar would have you would have registered a place, you would have interviewed, and all those arrangements were done before they give you the date and everything. In some documentation, registrar, and then I'll give a cash application.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow.
It is possible, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Lawyer Wensu Ebusa said, please, has the 5-year route for marriage changed to 10 years?
No, it has not changed to 10 years. The 5-year route still remains the 5-year route. The 10-year route also still remains the 10-year route. But it is possible to change from the 10-year route to the 5-year route. And it is also possible to strip or to trip from the 5-year route to the 10-year route? I would explain. Now, say, oh, a sitting example, Obia or your student. Obia or your student, I will chrome her. Say, students, no. I worry Obia or your British citizen, I will chrome her. Because our student visa, so MWNT. Because the visa name MWNT, they did never 5-year route in the so. So over 2.5, after that, another 2.5. Now a total of 5 years, and then indefinitely to remain. But so our 5-year route is so not set one meeting all the requirements, relationship, immigration, financial, and English no so. They can easily move you from the 5 years to the 10 years because you have not met all the requirements under the 5-year route. So the 5-year route is still there. But if you miss one of the requirements, they can put you on the 10-year route. 10-year route nusu ebia obia owo krom ha or your student. The visa ne washa ne hu kanfo oba ne woba ana oni oba ne woba because of abofanency, because of an sitting from the beginning he didn't to the 10-year route nusu onia sitting. First scenario is that the student know the others who are sitting up and no straight away to the 5-year round. When a student but the visa and no when you're sitting you didn't to the 10-year route in the soup. You do to 10-year route in this one. You did 2.5 years in the within 7 months, over another application if you meet all the requirements. So say no or sitting up because first one no near sitting so sitting until relationship with the partner is correct. Immigration. To say over 2.5 years. Financial, they can meet the 29,000. English language, or pass it B1 and now A2 and now our degree. You make the 4 requirements. They can make another application after 7 months to switch from the 10 years to the 5-year route under Appendix FM section LTRP or under Appendix FM section LTRPT 1.1 A, B, C onwards. All those provisions are there. So, the 10-year route is still there. The 5-year route is still there. It has not changed. From Brexit, it has not changed. The routes are still there, but you have to meet the requirements under each of these routes before you can move on to that. That's my response.
Medasi. Answer na mefa Mary no mami emfa we so ntwam we obusa se so kita skilled worker visa you are on the 5-year route to indefinite leave to remain now at some point o switch from ABR the health and care visa to maybe IT do you still need to add the 2 different visas no to add up to the 5 years now when you're indefinite and now say you need to stay on one?
Very interesting question. Very interesting question, and it's a scenario I'm trying to deal with now. I'll say the skilled worker, they have different categories. We have health and care, we have IT, we have construction, and different areas. We have hospitality industry, different areas. Now, and each of them has their own code. So you are considered on the code on which you apply. If you are doing domiciliary or something, anything, they're different. Now, the question we are still asking is, which we haven't got answer to, and I'm looking into it, is this. Just as he has asked, Ningnaye skilled worker, are we able to add 2-year skilled worker in health and care to 3-year skilled worker in construction? Or it has to be 5 years in the same category? I have not got the answer yet, but I'll look into it. But my suspicion is that if you change the providers or if you change the route or the code, you may be required to do 5 years in that code, on that code. If it is construction, you may be expected to finish 5 years on the construction. You can change from one construction to another construction to another construction, but it has to be 5 years continuous. But if you change from health and care to construction, it 2 different codes. So I promise to look into this. If I don't give the response next week, the week after, I am very certain I can give you some positive outcome or response to this. But it is something that is going on because a lot of people have shifted because of the problem with the help and care. They are shifted, and that is what we are considering now to see what the law says if you get indefinite when you combine 2 different routes, or you have to remain on the same route. I'll find out, and I'll certainly let you know. Anna, thank you. Dana, I'm here.
Mary Mbacho Yetio.
And the lawyer me that's you. Na me patron me pese me bisa say me 2.5 years na me by na ka be 7 months na me a skilled worker.
Okay.
And me here sponsorship biem na me to me de I extend me stay ana the next question is me pese me ne company na me ne ye adwuma be ye adwuma biem a e was say me copy company foforo a be me sponsorship ana.
I would quickly advise you say but more than the company for in tem and the many answer. In fact, say ya kasa we pay please call me because will be MRM information be ya kasa we pay call me. I will give you some contact. Na then kasa just say and one be what to me idea why
But you
and so one frame in term now said the PAP office you might not get me until Monday. Into your pay and I can say from me. Just call me and then text me and I'll quickly send you the numbers for you to contact the gentleman. Why?
Pacho, what the number need to about me share a chat ni munenda hono.
In your office there no. My mobile number is 079.
Pacho Matro.
Yeah, 079 31 411 042. 079 31 411 042. 079 31 411 042. That is
Pacho me does.
And then give me a message right now. Message you sir number and our friend. Why?
Pacho me does.
Yeah, that's it.
Fabrian for Mr. Taptap. Mr. Taptap Yetio.
Yeah, Mr. Tap ni lawyer Pacho when Oba with a dependent visa on the student. And on independent normal were just partner and number of the buy. You are pushing a for phone on an hour. The Akolani British passport. Until Oba requirement ben on a type of visa ben. And I so apply. And secondly, students in Swaba na or we school no graduate in the BBA. Wajin put study 2 years, but why oversee? Akonya ben or Bemano at me at the settlement. And that's it.
And the first one, I'm with your partners, I'm by your one worry, and I'll ban only to do worry. I call
I'm about your sanity.
I will find a British.
British or indefinite.
Yes, in that case, Nibanibe British citizen under Section 11 of the British Nationality Act 1981. Amameno, because one worry, the other man then say, Abofranibe, Papa way eba. Ameno, let me get any bonus and 2.5 years. In fact, 2.5, 5 years indefinite if she meets all the other requirements. Rather than go on the 10-year route, she can do 2.5 on the 5-year route to get her indefinite leave to remain.
Okay, but I don't know apply for 2.5 now. Requirement ben or obey English test now.
Yes. So on the 5-year route, relationship, immigration, financial, English language, and level 8 that is a requirement before Obesme application. The 5-year route. Yeah.
Okay. And the second one now, as a student, while by school, imagine post study, why exhausted the post study, and when you settlement, I can't even know what man say, or betting me a day, I settlement, why brow that's work room.
Well, we're in the post study way now, 2 years now. Working some 2 years now, sounds an option. Hey, Papa, with me, Uncle, me, first. Me work first year with the years 2.5 years no so you make giddy. You have to look for either skilled worker. I'm ready and you say so back and all worry from I want to make now from home and see Abu Francis you again to make kind to be as a man and see there are options and now you have to go back to school. You can get another university, you go back to it, you are able to go back to school or get a skilled worker visa to work in the UK. Don't wait until the 2 years graduate visa expires. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in a very difficult place.
Lo, but situation you make in the I aspire.
I aspire. Then our family route, so under Appendix FM again, leave to remain as a partner if your partner has a child, or Appendix FM, leave to remain as a parent if you have a child. And when you have a papa, within one of the birth certificates, so Abopani are British and now offer indefinite leave to remain by whichever means under the rules. Then we wait me application based on either Uyirino and Nipa, and now based on Ubano. That is an option. And now the other option is Uber train for 20 years. Then when you're 2.5 years under the 20 years long residence rights.
Okay. Ebedasi, na yɛ de dwumadi no aba awie yɛmfa Frederick Ntwato na lawyer Arape Apamami. Na mesrɛ wo lawyer ɛde ne contact details no nso agu chat room hɔ. Ɔmɔden anafa na uhia ɛmoa bi a ɔtumi afrɛ no akyire na ɔde ɛmoa bi wɔ hɔ ɔde aboa. Ɛzan sɛ nsɛm bi wɔ hɔ anye ne nyinaa ɛna yɛbɛtumi aka ɛwɔ hanom. Yɛmfa Fred Ntwato. Fred, last question. Freddie, it's you.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Then about your question be your handy. It's all mine. Right.
But na me bisa say your friend say e-visa no.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, lawyer na yema ye nti yenya ye reference email no. So and then you betumi aye na yetumi aye ade no. And now you betumi about one of my directions.
Me dey upa kwanchire won. Well, kwanchire dey any fa bayira ya chi ene any near kiba pepe was no di ba.
No. If you come to that account.
Now the tilapia can see any biensa. Pepe on China Anyway, you don't have to wait for the lawyer. Uber me online yourself and do just go to Google and enter e-visa. You call e-visa. Have more the link. No, you just follow the step by step. You don't wait for the lawyer. Don't wait for the Home Office. The option is there waiting here without any problems at all. Right?
No, it comes with fee and
it's free, 100% free of charge.
Okay, all right.
Of course, lawyer Yemawa. Lawyer is going to spend about 30 minutes of his time to do it. He will charge you because if he does it for 12 people in a day, he doesn't charge anything. That is 6 hours of his day for nothing. So, but you can do it yourself. You don't have to pay anything.
Abusiafo ahanemu ene brebema ho kwan yede dwumadi ne besi yebege lawyer ne last words ne contact details na nyame ya adoma yatimi ene no edi nkomo akire lawyer mbajo yeti
Nana Medase, I like this program, you know. It gives me the opportunity to talk to my people, and I really appreciate you for this opportunity. Labour government, yɛgye say nsesan bi ɛbɛba say ano Rwanda no deɛ yɛnim sɛ is dead and buried. Mehu sɛ almost say they are going to start processing asylum seekers as quickly as possible. Megye di nso sɛ sika no anka conservatives for ever increase akɔ 38,000 pounds and sana wodi wiyiri ana okuna aba no. Megye di sɛ they may not decrease it, but they may also not increase it. And the area ebeka 29,000 na ɛwɔ no. That is my suspicion. So let's give them a bit of time. We are monitoring very closely to see changes when ever. As soon as anything comes that will benefit us, Yebema Masun Ate. But of course, we are here to help, to support, and to advise as much as we can. Niamidisha has to do with using fake documents. It's causing a lot of people problems. Yes, Remo, I am begging. Please use the right documents. Say you refuse now the court, you have a case. But if you use the wrong document, you have no case. Uber says you'll be spending not less than sometimes 4,500 pounds, and the result is zero, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, lawyer for your sika, court beji sika, barrister beji sika. Meanwhile, the result will be zero because you have used a false document. Please, sir, agents in the area insist that they use the documents you've given them. Now, there will be no problems. Nobody will be banned for 10 years. Other opportunities can come up. You can come, or your family member can join you if other opportunities come. But if you mess it up, if other opportunities even come, they are not able to come to join you here in the weekend. That will be my caution, my weekend message for us all. Dana, akwenami okata regbanami onyo. Na questions adolia ngatabia next week ami adon nami. Inye me fen mojo fa ke mena wo pe ni efeso. Kenye questions ko ni ta nye bi hwe. Ye ba nye bi next week. Kenye send questions say oba hanya hitu ke ba nya kenye baba office hwe. Ye ba nye ba ko ni watashin. Ni wa hanya responsible. Yes ani fen ni wa nyoma. Alo ba nyoke. Ni oba wie pa ne no. Si kenye ba office ni watashin. None you or me oba join your family. Nana mida say God bless. That's a net. Say yes or ma. It is sign Asia. Thank you. Now, are you there?
Go grab your ticket now. Just check on shoes.com and get your ticket because it's gonna be lit. And all the niggas, no. Let's when you're ready, within a month or I'm on my head. I'm coming to London 20. Maybe same.